Here's a short overview of our dashboard and the different kinds of reports that you will find here. I'll talk about specific scores, and hopefully by the end of the video, you'll know where they come from and how they can be interpreted. The first score that I'll talk about is internal quality score, known as IQS. And this is just a simple average of all of the reviews that were given in the selected time period, in our case, September to November. Periodic change is just the difference between the IQS scores between, the current time period, this 3 months, versus the previous 3 months. And the graph over here is just the fluctuation of the score month by month in this case. The table below shows you IQS score per agent, and so right away you can tell who are your top performers and who need some guidance in certain areas. In our case, Felix and Karen. And when we talk about the IQS score in general, I should mention these two columns, conversations and the reviews. Most of the time you may find that the count is quite similar. However, in this case, you can see conversations, it shows 5, reviews, it shows 6. So I should explain what the difference is between these two. If I take you over here, you can see that here's a conversation. You can refer to it as a ticket or just this interaction that we see here in the middle. And then it was reviewed twice. So this is a single review, Felix reviewing Winston, and there's another review by Medea. So the ticket received 2 reviews, and that's why the count for the reviews are sometimes higher than the count for the conversations column. Going to the table over here, this is where I would come if I wanted to understand the areas of excellence and areas of improvement per agent. And again, if we take a look at Felix and Karen, you can right away tell that solution is a little bit problematic, this category, because the average score was 50%. The rest of the categories are actually quite all right. And then over here in this column, we'll see the average of those rating categories. Do not confuse this 83% or 69% for Felix for the IQS score, because IQS score actually is much lower for Felix, it's 50%, and the reason is because when we count IQS, we will also count the weight of the rating categories as well as whether or not those categories are critical, while as the scores by category does not take into consideration the weight or whether the categories are critical or not. The table over here, it shows a performance over time. And if we take a look at Smokey over here, you can see that the average of all of the reviews he received in September was quite high, 93%, but then the performance dropped in October and it dropped again in November. So we see a downwards trend. And then the average over here is 63%. Again, this is not the IQS score, it's just the simple average of these 3 numbers. The fourth table is the breakdown of the entire scorecard, and you can see rating categories performance over time. So for solution, we can see that September, the average of all of the reviews given under solution was 88%, then the average dropped and then increased again in November. And if we go to the final table, then you'll find information on all of the reviews separately. So here are the review URLs, and here's the breakdown of those scores per review. You'll see that this column is not labeled average, it actually is the score, because it's not the average of these categories that you see here, it's the score of the review. And I can explain it if we take a look at These three categories, you can see each received 100%, but the final score is 0% because solution was downgraded and solution is a critical category, so it automatically fails the ticket, and that's why the score is 0%. I hope this helps, and if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us via chat. Thank you.